kind of going back a little bit full circle, we were talking about gender issues and women as composers and conductors. And there are certainly a lot more conductors and composers now that are women, but I still feel like in our classical music world that those two areas still have are more male dominated. And I'm wondering, even now, what do you see as the challenges for women composers and conductors?
Well, certainly as a conductor, the image of a conductor has always been sort of a father figure, and either a kind of a tyrannical figure, or a kindly father figure, or a young firebrand. Mm-hmm. And women don't fit any of that. But the thing that women have going for us, I think, that is such a plus, is that we can speak on a level with people, that we can create a sense of community without a hierarchy. And yes, of course, there is a certain hierarchy. You can't, well, my roommate at Juilliard was a member of Orpheus in the very beginning, when everybody had a say of what could be done. And she said rehearsals would go on until midnight and they wouldn't even get through a piece. So yes, there is sort of a bottom line, and the conductor has to be that bottom line to say, this is the decision, this is how we're moving forward. But there is that sense of give and take, of listening, of community, I say, because I think that women don't have the same sort of sense that I am boss, my word is, the 10 Commandments. I think we're much better able to deal with a dialogue rather than a monologue. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a very, very important plus, and something that is really needed in the orchestra world, where so much is management versus, orchestra. And I've seen it up close and personal with all the orchestras that I've been involved with, particularly when I was an assistant conductor. And I saw that kind of, tug of war and tension and financial issues, and a sense that we're the pulling the cart and we don't get what we deserve, that sense of conflict. And I think, yes.
Well, no, in terms of conflict, interesting to me is that a wonderful woman conductor was at one of the famous orchestras in America, and the orchestra had a chance to take her as their conductor. And who do you think were the people who didn't want her? The women in the orchestra.
Yes.
And that's a major problem.
It is.
It is. I mean, there's something about women in the orchestra who love to sort of, it's a daddy figure, mm-hmm. and they can relate to that. But it's interesting. What do you think about it?
Well, I'll give you a perfect example. My first job out of school was Pittsburgh Symphony, major orchestra. I had a fantastic position, Exxon Arts Endowment Conductor. I thought I had died and gone to heaven. And I wanted to get to know all the women in the orchestra. So I went into the women's dressing room during the break, and I had tea with them, I had coffee with them, I talked with them. And somebody spoke to management and said that I was spying on them.
Oh my gosh.
I was so upset. I was so hurt. I just, the signals were just really crossed. They were so much in that mentality of us and them,
right,
that they didn't realize that I just wanted to be friends. Mm-hmm. So
how do we change that with women in orchestras?
Well, that's, yeah. Can I interview you for that?
Do you also think that there's a prejudice from the audience, from the paying public to come see the concert, so they want to see a male conductor, or do you think that they have any preference?
Well, I think that very often the people who go backstage and go to the parties, they want a young man to flirt with. That's a big plus. But I think by and large audiences are pretty, I've found I haven't had any problem with audiences at all. I really haven't. I think that in the beginning there was a lot of surprise. Oh, wow, it's a woman conducting, not a man. But I think that I didn't feel a lot of negativity from the audience itself.
I think it will change. I really do think so, because there are just more and more really good women who are doing it.